Meet new employee Joe. Joe is a district manager for United States ABC. He has been sent to Foreign Island to bid on a construction contract. Joe has been advised by colleagues that Consultant Bill, also an agent working for the Foreign Islands government, is the go-to guy to win the contract. Consultant Bill assures Joe that he can secure the bid, but he must first pay Consultant Bill 3 times the amount of his standard commission fee. Consultant Bill will use a portion of his commission to secure the contract. Joe's co-workers tell him they do this all the time, and the boss files it under consulting fees. Joe's gut instinct tells him this is a questionable practice, but he wants to prove his skills, and his colleagues assure him this is the acceptable corporate practice. Unfortunately, Joe, his coworkers, and his boss are either unfamiliar with or just disregarded the FCPA in hopes they are not caught. Let's leave Joe and review some history. During the Watergate era, the U.S. government investigated overseas bribes involving hundreds of millions of dollars and more than 400 U.S. companies. As a result, President Jimmy Carter signed the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act of 1977 into law. The FCPA makes it unlawful for certain classes of persons and entities to make payments to foreign government officials to assist in obtaining or retaining business. In other words, United States law prohibits companies conducting business in the global marketplace from bribing foreign officials in order to increase financial profits and business relations. And those that fail to uphold the laws of the FCPA may face criminal punishments. 21 years later, added measures were included into the FCPA when the 1998 amendment was signed into law by President Bill Clinton. These new rules came about as a result of the International Anti-Bribery Convention of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, a group of 39 countries founded in 1961 that would work together to promote global trade. This amendment expands to the original act to include criminal prosecution of foreign entities that transact business in U.S. territories, more clearly defines the term foreign official, addresses the liabilities of U.S. companies that maintain foreign subsidiaries and joint ventures, and provides for affirmative defenses. Why should we care about overseas bribery as long as United States companies get the contracts? According to the Department of Justice, the FCPA of 1977 and the 1998 amendment are necessary to level the playing field for honest businesses and restore public confidence in the integrity of the marketplace. The truth is, the cost of global corporate bribery and corruption hinders economic growth and creates financial instability here at home. Think about it. The resources gained through corrupt and hidden practices overseas do not contribute resources to our nation's public goods such as healthcare and education. Just as important, corrupt practices threaten free market values of the private sector, decreasing competition and ultimately increasing the cost to do business overseas. The FCPA contains 2 provisions. The first is the anti-bribery provision that outlines intercommerce anti-bribery laws in order to stop fraudulent practices. These laws are enforced by the Department of Justice. The law declares that residents and citizens of the United States cannot bribe with money or anything of value foreign officials in an effort to gain favors, influence business transactions, or provide services that violate law. Of course, where you have bribes, you usually have money or something of worth, so the second part of the FCPA addresses the accounting provision. The accounting provision is enforced by the Securities and Exchange Commission. This provision includes 2 parts. The first part requires accurate record keeping of corporations and applicable entities, and the second part requires that these organizations maintain internal accounting controls. In short, it's best to have a financial paper trail, and you need to have it audited from time to time. The FCPA also identifies responsible parties, dividing groups into 3 categories. Category 1 applies to all U.S. persons and businesses, referred to as domestic concerns. This applies to officers, directors, employees, stockholders, and agents, of which agents are defined as third-party persons, such as consultants, distributors, or partners, that conduct business on behalf of or with a company. Category 2 includes all U.S. and foreign public companies defined as issuers that are required to file periodic reports with the Securities and Exchange Commission or are listed on the U.S. stock exchanges. Again, this includes their officers, directors, employees, stockholders, agents. You get the picture. Not sure if you are an issuer? The U.S. government keeps a list that you can reference. And if you or your company do not fall into the first two categories, then you may be accountable to the FCPA through territorial jurisdiction. Territorial jurisdiction applies to any foreign company, either directly or through agents, that transacts business in a territory of the United States. The FCPA states it like this: regulations apply to any transactions that involve trade, commerce, transportation, or communication among the several states, or between any foreign country and any state, or between any state and any place or ship outside thereof. Basically, all business transactions taking place in connection with a U.S. entity and any representative of a foreign government, regardless of where the deal takes place or what other companies are involved, is subject to FCPA regulations. This goes beyond face-to-face meetings and covers any and all forms of communications: U.S. mail, telephone conversations, emails, text messages, fax, wire transfers, and so forth. We have looked at the two provisions, the responsible parties. Now, let's examine payments to foreign government officials. The definition of foreign officials is broad and requires companies to exercise caution. A foreign official is any officer or employee of a foreign government or any department, agency, or instrumentality thereof, or of a public international organization, or any person acting in an official capacity for or on behalf of any such government or department, agency, or instrumentality, or for or on behalf of any such public international organization. It might be easier if we break this down. The FCPA labels the following as foreign officials. Foreign officials: a representative of a foreign political party, a candidate of a foreign political office, an employee or representative of a public international organization such as the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization, and all of the many other international organizations. A foreign official is also any third party or agent that acts as an intermediary between you and a foreign official. Remember, this is a broad definition. A company from the U.S. is contracting with the director of a foreign electric company to build infrastructure services for the electric company. The electric company is completely owned and operated by the foreign state. This also makes the director of the foreign electric company a foreign official, so care needs to be taken that all business transactions meet FCPA guidelines and are documented. The U.S. government has outlined the consequences for violators, consequences that can be extremely costly. Those found guilty of FCPA violations may be charged with civil and criminal penalties. The DOJ and SEC often work in coordination with the FBI to identify and prosecute violators. Since 2014, at least 125 FCPA enforcement actions have been made public.